Salome and I would also like to acknowledge that we're on Gumbingia people's country, and we're very happy to be here today, coming from up north. And we'd also like to acknowledge and pay our respects to the traditional owners and elders past, present and emerging. We all understand the importance of collaboration. It generates new ideas, it adds value to the projects that we work on, it opens pathways and opportunities. So how is collaboration different when we work with Aboriginal people and communities? As a non-Aboriginal person, we need to recognise that our dominant values impact on the interactions we have with Aboriginal people and the outcomes of the projects that we work on. We tend to come into community with the aim to fix things. We're solution focused, we talk a lot, and we generally don't listen enough. The organisations in which we represent often impose other values, strict timeframes, lots of paperwork, lots of reporting, and often don't allow the time for community engagement at the pace that the communities need. Genuine collaboration requires a commitment to developing our cultural competency and recognises that this is an ongoing, a non-linear and a learning process. Cultural competency goes way beyond cultural awareness of other cultures. The first stage is self-reflection, understanding our own culture and our own privilege, and how this impacts on the way that we communicate with communities and Aboriginal people, and how it shapes the way that we see the world. Our cultural understanding, to critically reflect on another person's culture and to improve your understanding of their cultural norms and values. Cultural context, to put your learning into the context of the community and the individuals you're working with. Communication, to overcome cultural and linguistic barriers, learning to read between the lines in the way we communicate, learning to listen, respecting community processes around decision making. Only then will we get collaboration, only when we accept and respect the dynamics of our differences and adapt the way that we work individually and as organisations, can we shift the power of imbalance of the way that we relate. A shift towards equity is not about everyone getting the same thing. It's about everyone getting what they need in order to improve the quality of their situation. The New South Wales EPA Aboriginal Community Waste Management Program aims to reflect this understanding in the way that we've designed the program. The program's invested $4 million over the next 4 years out of the Waste Less Recycle More initiative to work with the discrete Aboriginal communities, what the communities call the missions and the reserves. Behind the objectives of the program is the understanding that communities need to drive the solutions, that there's no quick fix, and that sustainable solutions are going to take time. The program design recognises the importance of creating employment and opportunities at every stage, and it also recognises the importance of face-to-face consultation and communication between the EPA and the communities and other projects that are involved. The program has interagency involvement with 6 different non-government and government organisations that sit on a steering committee, and also connect us in with regional officers who are located out in the regions near the communities. Round 1 of the program was the successful applicants was released in March this year. There's 14 communities that we're working with, and you can see them in the green circles. There's a couple that are still pending that we're working with to get their paperwork through. And prior to this, to round 1, we had 4 pilot programs that are located with the blue dots. So Muli, Cabbage Tree Island, Alice Edwards Village and Burke. Round 2, there will be one other round of the program, and it'll open up in June, hopefully. So I'd like to introduce you. We're going to give you some feedback from the pilot programs that we ran. So I'm going to introduce you to Salome Green. And Salome has been integral to the success on the Muli project that we've run over the last couple of years. So I'm going to give her a warm welcome.
Hello. So Muli is a little community located 4 k's outside of a rural town called Wollongong in northern New South Wales. There are 33 houses in there, and the population varies from seasons from 150 to 220. And the land is owned and managed by the local Aboriginal Land Council, and the office is located on the community. The community had a 240 litre split bin, which had recycling and waste in the same bin. So, yeah. And we have a transfer station, but it is located 6 k's outside of our community. So if we don't have vehicles or trailers or even a licence and rego, then dumping's pretty much anywhere. And our tip site was located at the back of our community near our cemetery. So the vision, how this all came about, the project was driven by the vision of the Aunties, and they form a Muli ladies club, who desired to see the tip cleaned up. They were concerned about the toxins polluting the lands, the local creek, and the flats where they want to grow vegetables, which for the community, but later on go further into marketing at our local farmers market. So that's the plan of the women, and before we couldn't even go into that, we had to clean up. So yeah. Our partners. So securing partners to collaborate with was essential to the success of this program. The EPA were the funding bodies, and one of the main things that they did was actually come and listened and talked with the community and the committee. And they allowed time. And I think that's the main thing in any Aboriginal community is time, and you taking the time to come out and show that you're actually going to invest in something that you want to do on an Aboriginal community is the best thing that anybody can do, I reckon. So yeah, the North East Waste, they provided Tash, our project manager who helped us with the project by talking and discussing everything, every little detail with us. And yeah, not just once, but numerous times. So just constantly, yeah, talking. We love to talk. Reminders. The crew came to our community and all the way from Brizzy, which is 2 hours away, and they talked with our elders and our committee and our community, and they got to know us, what we wanted and us as a community and what we desired to see. And they did an amazing job on our community, and yeah, they just listened to us, and they are the best. The Desert P Media, they are a media, they record rap videos with children about whatever issues that is happening in that community. And in our community, it was about recycling, so that was the main thing that they talked about was recycling. The Githable Rangers, that is an Aboriginal-run business that came out of Muli. They mostly do regeneration work. They get contractors from farmers near and far. So yeah, and they also provided the recycling service that we set up in our community, and the plants that also were for the regeneration of the tip site at the back, and also educated our kids on land care. The Muli Ladies Club, as you know, is the heart of it all. That's where it just all began. So they basically was our bosses that told us what to do, the women, which is not unusual. And the Muli Land Council, they managed the land, so we had to go through them to get everything approved. So an audit was taken of about 12 bins on our community, just to find out what was needed and that. Oh no, issues, sorry, I'm jumping ahead, don't worry. Issues, the key issues that the community wanted was cleaning up the rubbish tip, because as I said earlier, it's near our cemetery where we go and bury our loved ones. A safe and cleaner community, better rubbish service, and improved recycling system. Community, yeah. Audit. So an audit was taken on our community by the project manager, and she hired 2 locals to help her with the audit. And for any recycling service to happen on any community, you've got to understand what is the actual problem. So that's how you just take an audit, I guess. And it was reported back to the committee. So the average house was producing 2 bins worth of rubbish in 1 week. So, and then out of that, there was 50% of waste could have been recycled, but because we don't have a recycling service, and the service, if I go back, that bin right there has a split in the middle. So at the back you had to put rubbish, and at the front you had to put the recycling. And if you have 15 people living in your house at that time, how are you going to recycle? Do you know what I mean? It's just going to flow. And also you can't close the lids, so the crows will come and just destroy everything. And that's me. So I was employed as the community engagement advisor on our community. I just did community surveys. I went house to house, visited everybody, had a cup of teas with them, and talked about what they would like out of this project. I education with the families. I helped develop the rubbish management program, meeting contractors, getting to know all of them, and on the quoting and on the cleanup. Working with the local school to create educational activities for kids, for the children, because you got to target the children. They're the next generation. You just throw everything at them. And also community feedback on the educational material. Everything that we got done for educating, I went to pretty much nearly every member of my community and asked for their opinion, like what do they see, what would they like. I involved them all because it is their community and not just certain individuals. The community values. So one thing about community is also family, Family is the key. You want to keep your family safe, and you want to protect them, and you want to keep this country for the next generation. You want to look after it. And so I think why it works so well, this program works so well in my community, is that I targeted that with the family. I said, do you want to leave a state, how would I say it? A land that is so sick that it can't produce fruit, that your kids walking on it are going to get sick from it. That's the thing that I targeted, was family. You got to think of the next generation. And as Aboriginal people, we are responsible also to look after our country. This is where we're from. This is our nation, so we are responsible. We are obligated to take care of it. It's our identity and who we are. But then as an Australians, we are also obligated to take care of our land as well. So that was how I targeted it, and how I went about it. We are responsible, Money can't change the system. We have to, as people, put our hands all together and work together to change it. So education, one of the activities we thought of, because we got new bins in, was to put ownership on those bins, and that was to have a painting day. And so we had a barbecue and got all the communities together, and I cleaned every single one of those bins, 33 bins, and got all the kids came out from school and they painted it, and they really enjoyed that day to have where that they know that they're going to start this new journey along recycling. So that was one of them. A trip to the tip was another one, just to get the kids all thinking about what they put in the rubbish bin and what they use and how they use it. Just thinking about it, the things ahead. Visioning workshop got the kids to work on what they would like to see in our community. Tash did workshops at the school about how long does it take for a plastic to recycle or to go back to its natural form, or any kind of, the glass and all that. Desert Pyramid did about wrapping. They came and they did all, fun stuff with the kids. This is one of the design programs, the posters that we got designed for our community, and it's basically more picture-based, because in Aboriginal community, they don't like reading, they like pictures. They're more of drawers, designers. And this is our new recycling system. So, where is it here? So in September last year, we started our new recycling system, and that's one of the men that that is employed. He's a local man. He's employed to do it every year. So we're constantly doing that, and that's the new trailer that was funded out of the program. And those bags are actually recycling bags that we hook up on our veranda or inside to collect the recycling and also to collect the bottles. So we have 2 bags, and one's for the CBS and one's for the recycling. And what else is there? That's before. That's just a small picture of it. There was a lot more than that, and that's after it. So beautiful. And we got 79 tonnes of steel removed, and all that money that was from that there went back into our community. Asbestos was 1,600 tonnes of contaminated soil was taken out of our community. So, yep, needed to plant some plants. That's the 6 young men that were employed to work that full week with the Rwanda's crew, and they did so well. And out of all that, a lot of the other younger men came along and joined in and just helped out. Even though they wasn't paid, they just helped because they wanted to, you know, actually see their community clean. From that there also came traineeship that was offered to some of the men, so it's a great opportunity for them. Got to work everything. Caring for Country Day, we did a tree planting day for all the kids, and the Githaba Rangers led that. They brought the plants that they replanted on the hills and where all the rubbish was, and they educated the kids on why they do that. And that's our sign that we got put up there so that no redumping can be done again. And the position, that's it, my position for next year. Thank you.